Alright guys, have you ever feel like your money disappear the moment it gets to you? You're not alone. But what if I told you that managing your finance is much easier than you think? You don't even need to be a professional for you to do this. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but nevertheless, if this is the first time of you coming across this channel, do well to hit the subscribe button, like, share with friends and family, and don't forget to turn on the notification bar to get notified when I post new videos. So in today's video, we'll be dabbling into the world of personal finance for beginners. No fluff, no jargon, just a simple step-by-step guide to help you control your money. Whether you're a student, you just landed your first job, or you're trying to get better when budgeting, then this video is for you. Now, before we enter into the main video, we need to fix our mindset. It's the mind that do operate the bank, okay? If you want your account to be big, or you want to go more professional in this area of managing your finance, your mindset need to adapt it first. So let's fix the mindset. Now, first of all, what is mindset? Mindset is that belief system, all right? The belief system that governs a person's way of act, the way you act, the way you think, all right? So before you can be able for you to manage your finance, you need to fix your mindset, okay? Now, fixing your mindset in the sense that you have to determine that, okay, I've made up my mind to start working on my finance. With that way, then you have a right mindset. Now, let's go straight into the main content. Alright guys, so now in today's video, we'll be treating 6 core important things in managing your finance. And number 1 is understanding where your money goes. Alright? One of the most important parts in managing your finance is knowing where your money goes and how you spend it. Without you knowing where your money goes, you can't be able to track it and you cannot control it. Alright? For you to get a clear understanding where your money goes, is for you to track every single expenses, like every single thing, be it transport fare, snacks, subscription, whatsoever. For you to track it down, and you can do this either by using a notebook, a spreadsheet, or even budgeting apps. All right, or you can even also use Google Sheet to do this. And by doing this, you'll be able to know the essential things you need and the ones you have been spending money on that is not really relevant. Okay, with that, you'll be able to adjust some things for you to meet up your target. So imagine you spending, let's say you're spending 1.5 a day for snacks. In 30 days, that's around 45,000 a month. So you see, those things you think is normal, those are the things that keeps on eating your money, and you will think it's just normal because it's just snacks. What can I say? It's just snacks. At the end of the month, you end up spending 45,000 naira for just snacks, just like you call it, just snacks. Okay, so those are the things we need to consider. If your income is lesser than the way you spend, you need to cut off some spending and redirect that money into investment. Now, straight up, we'll be dealing on number 2. Remember, I told you we will be diving into 6 core information about managing finance, and we're done with number 1. Now we'll be going straight to number 2, and this number 2 is very, very important. Is important in all the 6, right? Now, like I said, number 2, setting up a budget. For you to meet up your financial management system, like for you to be very professional or perfect in that area, you need to set up a budget. And first of all, what is a budget? Budget is a simple plan that helps you control your money. All right? It sends your money to where it needs to go instead of you wondering where it went. Without a budget, you end up overspending. At the end of the month, you go broke. All right, so this is why you need to set up a budgeting plan. Now, to start budgeting, you need to list out all your earnings, be it salary, side hustle, earnings, or freelance job, or your allowance. Either ways, you need to list all of them. And let's say you earn 180k per month. Now, you have to split it into these 3 segments, the 50, 30, 20% segment. With this, you'll be able to send your money to anywhere, like to each part. All right, so now the 50% will go for your need, right, while the 30% will go for your wants, and the 20% will go for your savings. Okay, Your need can be your rent, transport, all those stuff. Why your want to be your can be your food, hobbies, and the rest. Then the savings is can be either emergency funds, investment, or repayment of debt. All right. The 50-30-20 method, you'll be able to track your spending for a month, compare it with your budget, and adjust if you're spending too much. All right. With this, you'll be able to stay in control and avoid unnecessary debt. All right. And also track your financial goal. That being said, we'll be diving straight to number 3. Number 3 is start an emergency fund. All right. Life is unpredictable. Emergency happen when we least expect it. All right. Your phone can just got bad. You can just lost your job, sudden medical bill, or family emergency whatsoever. This thing happen without you even, like, you will not have the idea that it will happen. It just take you unaware. So the easiest way for you not to be caught or not to be overwhelmed when it happens is for you to start an emergency fund. With this, you'll be able to gain balance, because there's an emergency that will just comes in, and the shock alone, I tell you, you don't want to be in that situation. So starting an emergency fund is really important for ones to manage his or her finance. All right. Before we continue, let's know what is an emergency fund. Emergency fund is that money set aside for only emergency. This particular money is not for shopping, it's not for vacation or whatever. It's only for emergency. Have you ever have this peace of mind when something just comes up, be it emergency? You have this peace that I have kept money for this thing, although I didn't know it will happen like this, but that peace for you to know that you have already kept money for it. Have you ever felt that? Emergency fund gives you the peace of mind knowing you have kept money somewhere. All right. This gives us the assurance, the security, because there's a way, if you don't keep the money, there's a way emergency can just comes in. You will need to go and borrow money with high interest, and at the end of the day you end up in debt. So this is why emergency fund is really important. Now you might be wondering, how much can I start as an emergency fund? It depends on your income. Like your income, little 2,000 counts. Let's say you're keeping 2,000 daily, weekly, whatsoever, it counts. All right. Setting aside a particular money. Okay. Let's say you have a free bonus allowance, and at that time you don't have anything to do with that money, you can turn it to your emergency fund. In the future, it will save you. At the end of the day, you'll be thankful for yourself. Like, suppose I didn't keep this money, I wouldn't have been able to do this, but thank God I did that. That's why it's very essential, like it's mandatory for everybody that has a serious mindset to grow in his or her financial way to set an emergency fund. Very important. Like, you need to start it. The goal is to save you from financial crisis and gives you that confidence for unexpected situation. All right. That's why you need to start an emergency fund. Now number 4. Right now, number 4 is understanding debt and credit. Debt and credit are important financial tools that can either help you build wealth or trap you in financial stress. So as beginners, it's important for you to know how they work and how to use them wisely. Now, what is a debt? Debt is the money you borrow from someone else. It can be from bank, lender, or a friend with an agreement to pay with interest. All right. And there's a good debt and a bad debt. A good debt simply means the money you borrow to do an investment and all those stuff. Then a bad debt simply means the money you borrow just for lifestyle. I mean, the good aspect of it is that if you borrow for investment and it pays off, the interest you can use to repay. But the bad way is when you borrow for lifestyle, at the end of the day you're left with nothing. Then you'll be trapped to pay for something you never needed. Just for lifestyle, you went and borrowed the money. All right. So you need to know this key factor. Why credit simply means borrowing money with the trust that you pay back. Understanding this helps you control them, not letting them control you. So it's actually good to take credit than debt, especially the bad part of it, the bad debt. With this, you have understand what it actually means by debt and credit. Now, straight up to number 5. Now, number 5 is setting a financial goal. This is really important because if you don't set a financial goal, you don't know what you want to use money for. At the end of the day, you end up spending it. So setting a financial goal gives you that leverage for you to be like, okay, I want to hit this target in 1 year time. I want to do this, I want to do that. So the easiest way to reach it is to set a financial goal so you can easily meet up that goal. All right. Financial goal gives you clarity, motivation, and a plan on how to use your money. So it's very, very important as a person, be it a student, you just got your first job, or you're trying to budget. All right. Setting a financial goal helps you think well and put your money to work. What are financial goals? They are specific targets you set for your money. It can be a long term, a short term, emergency funds, how to build up your emergency funds, or investment. Okay, can either be school, for your school education. These are financial goals. All right. Now you might be wondering, why is financial goal important? It gives you clear direction on where to take your money to and your purpose. Okay, you can be likely to spend money like when the money has a purpose. Okay, this gives you a clear direction. All right. Financial goals turn your money into building the life you planned or the one you dreamed of, instead of wasting it on something that is not necessary. All right. Now number 6. And number 6 is for you to track your progress monthly. All right. Financial management is not a set and forget process. Okay, this is a day-to-day something where you have to check it regular for you to know if you're progressing or need be changed. All right, so it's very essential for you to be checking in day out, so you can be able to give amount on your purpose, your target, and adjust some things that is not necessary. With this, you get to understand if you're doing progress or you're still overspending. All right, so this is why it's very essential for you to do your monthly tracking, like monthly progress. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. By tracking, control on your money and avoid surprises. By doing this, you gain confidence monthly that okay, you're making progress. That being said, we have come to the end of this video. If you find this video very thoughtful and helpful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share with friends and family, and mind you, turn on the notification button to get notified when I post video like this.